So, what were we thinking about? We're thinking about in the beginning, an intro. We have a thumbnail. I don't think it's a terrible spot to take a thumbnail. The problem with this, of course, the thumbnail. This is what they call, I guess, vertical landscaping, or 9:16. The thumbnail is 16:9, essentially. So how do you do it? Do you create a new thumbnail? Do you take your pictures and get them to fit in there? I mean, it's a possibility. So let's go to the end here. Now we should have, what should we have here? In the color, we took some stills. So let's go ahead so we have these. That's what our thumbnail basically is. Let's go ahead and import those. I don't know if they can just be imported without going through these secondary steps, but like I said, I'm certainly not a master of DaVinci Resolve. I can kind of get through it. Yeah, those are the 4. Why are these other ones here? Doesn't matter right now. What? It's like they're on there twice. Oh no, those are actual clips. Okay, let's take this and move it over here. Right. So that's actually 4 images in one. So there's a few ways we could do this, taking them back to into Canva and redesigning them is a way. It's probably a more efficient way than what I'm going to do, but so I can take them like this and I can put them on top of each other, and then I can just transform them at tracks. Then I can just transform it into what I want. All right, so let's go ahead and go in here. So one of the things you want to do, right, is we're trying to create some visual appeal. Like I said, I think the main thing people are interested in this game is the sandwiches, right? So, like I said, if we scroll outside, we can make it like this, and then over here we have crop, right? I'm gonna crop some of this stuff out here. I think people want to see big sandwiches. Okay, now we don't need to do all this as usual. It's a choice. That in itself is not bad, right? This giant long sandwich. Maybe that's good enough. That's kind of cool. And maybe we just take this and we delete this one. And then we're stuck with this, right? Making this kind of look nice. Oops. So crop works better there. You just go over here and you slide it down to crop what you don't want. Now you could be clever and move this over so it matches up a little bit. Like, whoa, that's a part of it. It's not, obviously. It feels almost like false advertisement. But you know, you've got this image. I think that looks kind of nice. It's a little intriguing to me, at least. So you have this giant sandwich on the right and these big numbers over here, 496, 128, whatever that means. Okay, let's go with that. Now, unfortunately, I don't think this, well, if you know the games, it kind of speaks for itself. But if you don't, it's your first time looking at it. We go over here and pull out our effects. See that up here? This is the effects button. Now we've got these, it opens up this stuff. Under open filters, we have this filter here. This is how we're going to do. We're going to do some 3D later on, but let's do this titles here, right? So we're going to put a title. Scrolling titles are kind of, they feel almost like movie-ish, right? So we got this title here. We're going to have it scroll. And it's going to be something like ball. Ballrun 2048. I don't know why people seem to like the word versus. Sandwich runner. Okay, so now I'm gonna just click out of there and then hit space and it runs it. So this is what it kind of looks like. It isn't terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. So what I'm gonna do is make it kind of grow. Now I like to actually put the levels in there. Levels, whatever, 141 to 160. Is that right? And it's not important. We can figure that out later. Levels 40 to 60. Okay. Now, I don't know. The black doesn't look that bad. I kind of want it to be centered. I think that looks a little bit better. The black on white looks kind of cool. We could do a dissolve, right? So maybe we move it back to the length. Here, right? And we just start with we could drop the opacity way down, right? And so here's the opacity button. Why does that one not come up? That's weird. We start with a, let's just click this. Let me move it over here. Right. Let's just move all their opacities to 0. So clicking that little red thing makes it what they call a keyframe. And it's just basically like a starting point in this case. So we're going to add some music in our ball run, right? So they say you've got about 2 seconds to grab somebody's attention. Now there's going to be some music in there, but so our next keyframe, what are we going to do? We're going to make it a little more visible. So yeah, so this is going to wind up being probably 4 seconds total. Let's make it 2 seconds to get visible, 1 second of visibility, and then 1 second of dissolve. Okay, so we got the little timer here. It's approximately 2 seconds. So we go in here. We can see what we're doing. Let's go ahead and go back to opacity. I mean, this is kind of an easy way to add some, I use the word excitement, you know, I mean, it's not, let's get it up to, what did I say, 2 seconds to get visible? Is that what I wanted? 2 seconds to get visible? Well, we can try it out here. Make sure you're clicking the right thing, and okay, so remember, we can always go back and check it out as we go. So ball run, I mean, I think that's kind of nice, right? Imagine some music. Maybe we delay it just a second. Not even a second, half a second. It says half a second. Where's my half a second mark? We delay it 1 second. We'll start it all one moment later. Right? Imagine Star Wars. Okay, maybe not. It's not very Star Wars-esque. But we can slow it down just a little bit here. Okay. And I kind of like it. I mean, this looks like caps would be. What are you thinking? Thinking this is starting to look good? No, it's okay. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. You can have this like kind of move in and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of little tricks that you can throw in there. So we want this to stay like this for about 1 second, 2 seconds. Until then, that's. I'm going to change this to last 1 second less. Come on. It's okay, so I moved it along. So I wanted to start dissolving there. Alright, so I'll put in another keyframe here. Make sure this is. And from there, I'll have it quickly dissolve to. Within a second. How about that? So it does help to, you know, have a, you know, feel free to use. So. Okay, so now we go back just 1 click, and I'm going to make this opacity drop all the way to 0. And this one, 0. So, like I said, imagine a little bit of music. Ball run 2048. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, so that comes off a little too fast for my liking. It's already like gone. So maybe I need to extend this just maybe half a second. We need to change the color here because of the red usually sticks out pretty well. Can't do black. Purple doesn't look bad. We'll make it bold. See if that helps. Just remember, if you're hearing that little button, it's because when you change the color, you have to hit OK. It doesn't just let you click off, which is kind of a weird thing in my eyes. So as that dissolves, if we really wanted to, we could have done some transitions and things like that. That's what's over here in your little effects. Go over here to transitions. You can have them transitions, or you can just, do what I did manually. But whoops. So see how harsh this is gonna be. So yeah, so we can add a little video transition there. We wanna, let's just say we want to do a blur dissolve, right? So we'll see what that looks like. And that kind of transitions well enough. Now, what we can do, since this is disappearing, is just say, we'll just say Ballroom 2048, right? I mean, we did inconvenience people with having them read quickly. I don't know what it is. Okay, but so as this dissolves out, so I need to delay that just a second, a smidgen, as they say. Why did that take so long? You see, why is this not dissolving? Why is the opacity not dropping to 0? It is, it's just slow, huh? Oh, is it that? Let me drop this a little bit over here. And here. Okay. Once again, we've got this color issue. Of course, this one is definitely the wrong color. Yeah, it just gets hard to see anything because the colors are all similar. Just make it black, but then it's not going to show up when it dissolves. Okay. Okay, so we can work with that for now. I think we already checked everything else. That's how you kind of, you know, we're thinking about that first. You know, we are at 7 seconds. So yeah, I could raise these all up. Like, why is that? Oh, that's the, what do you call it? So what we can do, what I'm thinking about doing is, if we drop this down, we can see less audio for now. We're not working with audio. Let's create another track. Let's add a track here. I'm going to shift this one up. And now I can move this over here a little bit. So within 5 seconds or so, let's see. I think that kind of works. Maybe it's just a little bit long on the title. Yeah, I think we don't need that as long there. And that little thing is kind of in the way. So let's drop this one down just a little bit, maybe right there. Okay. Looks like my peace and quiet is done for the day. I will be back. And we are back looking at DaVinci Resolve, trying to make the first. Where we left off, we were finishing up making the first, at least moments, interesting. We gotta try to make things interesting so people stay tuned. And not too interesting so people don't decide to leave just because it's so weird. Okay, so this was it right there. This isn't bad. I mean, it's not great, but you know, I was thinking about, you know, there's so many things to try. This is one video. I'm gonna say good enough for now. And was it 160? That's one thing I wanted to check. I don't want to lie to anybody. As soon as this is ready, we will publish it. Okay, and that should be the last one. Yeah, we're going to fix this one because of, man, this 160. I don't know if I remember correctly or just guessing. So let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. We're going to take this, and we saw here we had this weird sort of ending, right? And what happened was I was not paying that much attention. Okay, so we can do pretty much like what we did before. We're going to do some keyframes. Quick keyframe correction. So this is almost correct. So what looks like it's just the y-axis again. So let's correct this to 1 to see what happens. How much are we missing? Are we missing a lot? I don't think so. The ball is just bouncing. Let's look. No, so there is a issue. So we gotta correct the x. We're gonna keep the x there. And basically what we're doing is going to be fighting it as it goes along here. Okay, so let's make this a keyframe again. And what do? Well, we increase it. 0.2, 1.5. Yeah, it's not gonna be beautiful. It's not gonna be unnoticeable, but let's take a look. 3, 2.
The fight is set. I will dispatch you by my sword. Defend you.
What was this? Did you hear that?
I will dispatch you by my sword. Defend you.
So there's something that
The fight is set. I will dispatch you by my sword. Defend you.
but you see, we did correct that pretty much. It seems fairly natural, right? There is a little bit of motion, but if anything, it adds to it. So, okay, so anything else that we want to do while we are here? So, one more quick thing that we may want to do. We got this huge, so this will only be for the, what do you call, sorry, the one game and not the other. So we had this weird, right? So first we can collapse all this back. Let's do this. Let's move this over here. So they have the ocean in some of these, right? There's the ocean. There's an ocean here. Good ocean shot. There it is. So I want to kind of get rid of this ocean. The problem is the end. So I don't want to. I want to use a filter to allow me to take the ocean out and replace. I want to replace it with real ocean. Honestly, this would probably going to be my best frame to do this on. So this is what I'm talking about. I'm going to go over here to my effects, filters, and then I'm going to go down to this 3D keyer. I'm going to drop this here. And what I'm trying to do, you're going to go over here where you did your transform, making sure the transforms were good. Go open the Open FX overlay. And I'm going to take this and I'm just going to drop this. What's going on? Open FX overlay. Is it not letting me do it because I got multiple things? Yeah, maybe. So let's click here and see. Okay. We're trying to take that. It looks like it's good. It looks like it's good. I just didn't want to have to do a cut on every single one. I know there's a way to copy and paste this. Yes, I think there is. Before we do all that, let me right click here. Let me add a track. What I want to do is I want to put something underneath it. Oh no, it's not, I don't think it's gonna work. I just don't know if it's worth the effort. So right now I've taken out the background. essentially. And, you know, the background was nice and all, but I wanted to do a little bit of experimentation. Let me go to Canva. See if the kind folks at Canva will allow me to do something here. Canva, where is it? I'm gonna go to Elements, and let's just take a look at the ocean. I'm pretty sure I had ocean, but I guess I didn't. So we have photos. We just want a generic photo there, but I like to make things alive. You know, and we can have an undersea thing, underwater thing, which may be a bit confusing for people. This one's pretty good. I've never seen it do this before. What's going on, Canva? I've never seen Canva do that before. But you can take some samples and just this one's underwater. You know, something similar to what is in there isn't bad. Let's take a couple, and we can always just loop these if we need to. A couple that look kind of interesting. It's not bad, and you know, a beach sunset isn't bad either. And you know, the light in the background, the sun might be a little too much, but you know, like I said, let's experiment a little bit, see how it goes. Okay, so you could make this. Oh, I like that. This sound. I might take that just from the sound. So obviously you can get sounds from other things as well. Let's just download it. I don't really need 4K at the moment. You know, you have to think about the level and quality of the rest of your videos. Okay. This is going to be slow, I apologize. Sometimes it starts off slow and just jumps across. It will eventually do that. So my plan from the start, but I kind of forgot, was to go in and take out the background, make it an ocean scene. We can do that here. So each of these, right? Same thing here. Take out this. Yeah, that's good. Oh, see, I think it's done. Oh. You don't want it to be visible. Oh, yes. So let's go ahead and finish this game up. And 3D keyer. Oops. Ooh, that's pretty good. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't, when you, obviously these are all things you don't need to do. They're just things that if you want to try to see if you can add a little bit of vibrance, right? You can. I must not have dropped it in. Oh, jeez. No, I didn't highlight it. Come on. There we go. So, you have to decide along the way as this good for this project. Let's see, is it going to allow me to do it? Yeah, it does. So, I guess it was in there already. I just needed to go through and actually see each. Ooh, this one's a purple world. All right, look at that. I mean, a lot of these are only requiring, so it's going to take out whatever color you are clicking on. So you gotta just be careful. Like, so some of them I'm taking out the waves, some of them I'm not. It's just a matter of taste. Ooh la la, I like that. So, we just make decisions whether they are good or not. The people will decide. The people being the people who watch. If they like what you're doing, they'll watch more than once. If they don't, or they'll watch the whole thing. And if they don't, they don't. You're hoping that Google can find an audience for you a lot of the time, unless you are advertising, or you have a established channel, and then you can sort of do it yourself. But if you're just growing and deciding what's going on in the world, figuring it out. Just remember, no matter where you're at, you're going to be trying to figure it out. It's not, unfortunately, it doesn't really get easier. But I don't think life is meant to be easy. I think it's meant to be good. Not really. It just is. And you have to make it good. And that takes effort. I could be wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of things, but try to learn. I'm going to call that one good enough. If someone has made it this far, please forgive me. If I feel like appears I'm taking shortcuts or not putting as much effort into the details, I am trying to make it so it makes sense for me to do these kind of videos. If it's taking me a year to make a video, then I need an annual income to justify it. If not, well then, like I said, it is what it is. I'm not embarrassed, ashamed if things don't work out. They don't work out, and that's unfortunate. But I don't, there we go. Oh. So part of the price of this, of course, is your time, your effort. Oops. Come on back. Let me Control Z, see if this guy will come back. Come on back. There we go. There you are. Come on. one. All right. So we have some, trying to get this to pinch to zoom. There we go. And okay. Did the video show up? Let me see. I thought usually it will pop up. Excuse me. It looks like it's still going. So there it is. Usually it'll pop up on the screen in the middle of things, and maybe it did it while I wasn't necessarily focused. Now what do we need to do? We're going to need to move everything up one, right? Then we're going to take this video and drop it in here. You can see it's pretty small. It's only a minute. So let's see how it looks. And action. What do you think? Is it an improvement? I mean, the improvement is weird, right? It's like, I think it certainly adds a flavor. So you can hear some of it. There's only a little bit of audio. So there's a few things I want to do. One, I like the audio. So first we're going to copy this around. So all I'm doing is I copied the first one, put this at the end of the little section, and I'm just hitting Control V, and that gets me to where it to the end. So like I said, these are just some choices, maybe good, maybe bad. I don't know, I think that looks a little cool. Yeah, right? And we got, I think it adds something. But did you hear those waves? So now I'm gonna just, the only thing that was missing is a please subscribe. So I do like to, I need subscribers right now for a few of these channels. Oh, there's a couple other things. So I missed, so right here is the, what do you call it? Hit Control C. I'm going to bring another one of those over here to the new video. I think that looks really cool. You tell me. Tell me in the comments, please, if you don't. Like I said, it's at the end of the day, we're making, what happened there? Did it go? I don't see it. Okay, so I don't think it copied it, but that's fine. Let's go back to titles. We're gonna pick text, drop it right there, and we want to make sure, yeah, you can see it's there. And what do we have? Sandwich. Runner levels. Can you see it? 51, 2, 51. I think it was 60. To 61. Like I said, don't worry too much about those kinds of mistakes. I mean, you'll be surprised. Interaction with your was that 51 to 61? I think that's what it was. If I made a mistake, it's, I guess, it's not the biggest deal in the world. Oh, so now I'm gonna put an end to this video. I think visually I'm okay with what I have here for now. Other elements I mean, there's always something that comes up. You have to at some point say, that's enough, that's good enough. I'm happy with what I see. And I'm happy with what I see. But what I want now is to actually work on the sound. I mean, I can see here the sound is pretty good. Let me see. So I'm going to stop this one and work on the sound in the next one.